back so soon? I thought the mission was supposed to last for 3 months. Odd. No, I'm not questioning your sincerity. I just think that it's odd, given the difficulty and presumed timeline of the mission, that you've returned so much earlier than predicted. I wasn't calling you incompetent. I was just saying that you've returned approximately 5 weeks before you were expected to return. Even by your standards, that is a distinctly shortened time frame. No, I'm not assuming that you failed. Given your current composure, it seems that the mission was successful. When you have failed a mission, you usually lack the composure you have now. You become much more hostile in such cases, though many of the directors prefer to phrase it as unpredictable or touchy. I'm not intending to antagonize you. I was just stating my observations. You would be behaving much more maliciously if that were the case. I'm not lying. You do. Failure really brings out the worst in you, and it makes it obvious whenever a mission has been unsuccessful. You're free to believe what you will. I'm just talking about my own personal observations, which, for the record, have never been wrong. No, I'm hardly ever wrong, actually. It's not something I particularly enjoy, so I avoid inaccuracy as often as I can. I'm incredibly proficient at it, too. But it's not arrogance if it's the truth. In debates regarding subjects I've studied in, I'm correct approximately 97% of the time. It's why I'm the head research scientist of this division. I fail to see how it's bragging if I'm only providing evidence to support my claims. It's simply fact. It would be like someone calling you arrogant for speaking on your impressive skills in stealth and combat. I'm not being sarcastic. Why would you think that? Tone? What do you mean? Then how did I say it? I wasn't aware I was using any certain tone when I was speaking. I don't quite see what you mean. I don't believe I sounded any different than I have in any other circumstance. Rather, I'm quite certain that I didn't sound any different than I usually do. I'm fairly infamous around the facility for having a very flat voice. Or perhaps in your own terms, I have a cold, heartless voice, which I distinctly remember you comparing to that of a zombie at our first meeting. Of course. As you'll recall, I have an excellent memory, even if it was years ago. I can remember meeting you very clearly. I had been tasked to collect a sample of the poison you'd been injected with while in my field. And you tried to rip my throat out while I did so. It was shortly after you had been transferred to our division because you had failed a mission that involved breaching a secure... Getting that look in your eye again. Hostility. Should I drop the subject? Understood. Then while we're on the matter of changing subjects, I suppose I should change it to the one I requested to speak to you about? Did you collect the specimens I requested while on the mission? Excellent. I knew I could rely on you for this task. Well, that's easy, because you have every time before now. Of all the agency's field agents, you're the only one who has returned with any specimen I've asked with consistency. In all our years of working together, there has not been a single mission where you haven't collected the materials I've asked you for. Given that you have a failure rate of exactly 0, I knew that entrusting this task to you would be the best choice. Now may I see them? Good. Excellently preserved as well. These will do nicely. Oh, My apologies. I didn't mean to get distracted. These are exceptional specimens. You preserved them very well, and you even labeled them clearly. Thank you. Hmm? What is it? Yes, I said thank you. Why? Well, I'm grateful to you for what you've done for me. When you're grateful for something, you say thank you. So I said it to you, as I should in this situation. I don't see why it's such a surprise. If you'll remember, I've said it to you every time you collect the materials I ask you to. Yes, I have. Ah, now you're remembering that I do, in fact, have manners. As I said, I am correct 97% of the time, and I have an excellent memory. You've proven my point flawlessly. Then I suppose it is safe to say that I have better memory than you do. Really now? And what could it be that you remember that I don't? Ah, no, I remember saying that. I remember saying I did want to talk to you when you returned. I'm just surprised that you remembered that. Seems your memory is sharper than I gave you credit for. In all honesty, I had hoped you would forget about me asking that of you. Actually, it wouldn't be too far of a stretch. I have made this request before, and you failed to remember. On 2 occasions, in fact. No, it was for a different reason. This was for something of a different nature. But as I said, I would like you to have forgotten that. It isn't something that you need to concern yourself with at this current time. Yes, I was serious when I said that I wanted to talk with you, but well, as I said earlier, I hadn't expected you to be back from your mission so soon. I planned on having more time to think on what I wanted to say, or to be more precise, how I wanted to say it. However, with you returning so early, I find myself more unprepared than I wanted to be at our next meeting. It is strange, isn't it? I'm not used to being so caught off guard. I'm not sure I like the feel of it. Actually, I'm very certain that I don't like the feel of it. Yes, yes, laugh all you want. But I doubt you enjoy the feeling of being unprepared either. Now go take your laughter elsewhere. I have work to do. What do you mean, no? That was not a request. Are you sure you want me to tell you? I just told you that I don't know how I should phrase any of what I need to say, and I don't want to run the risk of miscommunication. If you insist, then I'll need a few moments to think of where to start. Is there a reason you're getting closer to me? No, it's fine. I just find it a bit, yes, distracting. Now, can you please step back so I can think? That's the opposite of what I said. You are continuing to get closer. I know you're just trying to tease me by purposefully getting closer. It won't make me lose my temper. No, it won't. Because I know what I have to say. I have, yes. What I wanted to tell you is that I've decided that I like you. From your reaction, I assumed that you weren't expecting me to say that. I can't deny that it's fun to surprise you like that. but I am telling the truth. Yes, really. Would you like for me to explain? Of course I can. Given that my feelings are my own, I know exactly how to explain them. You say it like you're surprised that I feel anything more than annoyance towards you. It shouldn't be that big of a shock. I don't think so, at least. Well, you see, we've never truly been enemies. We may not have gotten off to a great start. What with you trying to kill me under the influence of the deadly toxin. But I wouldn't say there was ever any true malice between us. Certainly not on my end. And I suspect that you don't hate me either. No, I don't think you do. I don't think you ever did. Well, because you enjoy our talks, don't you? You enjoy bickering with me. It's the reason you actually listen to me when I ask you to collect specimens and do favors for me while you're out on missions. You know that when you come back, you and I will be able to have some time to ourselves so we can talk. Just like we're doing right now. Are you gonna deny it? I didn't think you would. But as I was saying, a general enjoyment of talking to someone doesn't make us more than amicable coworkers. That's just a form of necessary communication that we partake in. There are many other members of the agency that I also enjoy speaking to. However, you have always been a standout variable in that I enjoy my time with you more than I do with others. Actually, in a rather odd turn of events, I found that I enjoy your company more than I enjoy being on my own. The more we cross paths, the more I found myself looking forward to seeing you again. Even if it was just a snide remark during a meeting, I still enjoyed every encounter between us. From the look in your eyes and the grin that would inevitably follow our talks, it was clear that you did too. It made me think more about this connection that we have. And I realized that I saw potential in you, in us, I should say. A potential for more than what we have. I saw the potential for a romantic relationship. And I found myself quite pleased by that idea. I enjoyed the thoughts of having you in such a way, so I decided to like you. At the time, it was a far-off goal, but here I am. I like you, just as I knew I could. And yes, like is the word I want to use in this situation. I know fully how I feel for you, and I chose my words accordingly. So to summarize, I like you. And I think that you, contrary to what everyone else believes, are very open to that. In fact, I think that you're incredibly pleased by what I just said. My evidence? Oh, I have plenty of evidence. The way you're looking at me, the way you're smiling right now, the way you keep getting closer. But I don't need to tell you any of that, do I? You already know it just as well as I do. It sounds like you're being paged. Did you forget to report to the medical wing before coming to talk to me? You haven't even reported to the council yet? You better go see them. They aren't the patient types, and the longer they wait, the less lenient they'll be. Though I suspect you are about to get quite the lecture anyway. Well, you better get going. I'll be here once you get back, but don't take too long. I'm not particularly happy to be separated from you so soon after you've just returned. Go see the council. The sooner you leave, the sooner you'll get back. and I'll be more than willing to talk once you return. And scene.